Hi everyone, it is Ben here from exercise.co.uk. So we're back again with another topic for you, and today we are getting into the controversial topic of intermittent fasting, which you may have heard of intermittent fasting and the terminology which has been thrown around quite a lot recently. So intermittent fasting is one of the latest, not fitness fads, but new techniques for losing weight that a lot of people are getting on board with, and there's a lot of hype going around about intermittent fasting, but at the same time there's a lot of controversy around intermittent fasting as well, and whether it's healthy for you, whether it's safe to diet and plan your nutrition around intermittent fasting. So we're here to get into the nitty-gritty of if intermittent fasting is effective, if it's healthy, and if it's sustainable long term as well. To dive straight into it, we're just going to cover what intermittent fasting actually is. So you may already be aware, but intermittent fasting is going through long periods of time where you aren't consuming any food at all, and you structure your day around when you choose to eat and when not to eat. The concept behind it is when you're in the period where you aren't eating, your body starts to already use the calories that you've burnt, and it stores that as energy and uses that as energy. But once you get past that, it starts to access the stored fats in your body and use that as energy as well, which is where you start to burn through the fat as you're going through the process. Now that is up for debate on whether that is actually tried and tested, and science doesn't exactly back that theory at the moment. That is just a theory, so it's not fully verified as to how legitimate those claims are. So how well does it actually work? There is a lot of feedback out there saying that intermittent fasting is one of the best things that's ever happened to a lot of people, and been one of the most effective things that they've done. And it's just a dietary preference for a lot of people. Now, the best way, or one of the most effective ways to do it, is by eating between times like 8 AM to 2 PM. You say you're going to eat food, and then after that period you're not going to eat any food at all, and all the way through to sleep, and then the next day. So you'll consume a lot between that period, between 8 AM and 2 PM, and then nothing after that. Or you could do between 2 PM and 7 PM, or whichever works for you really. And that is the thing about intermittent fasting, and one of the theories why we think it's so profound and has caught on recently is because it ties in with modern lifestyles in a little bit more of a convenient way. So there's not as much effort required with an intermittent fasting process as there is to a normal balanced diet. So it can be convenient for busy modern life. Lifestyles. Research suggests that there aren't any negative benefits, or particularly long-term negative benefits that come with it. That's not 100% proven, because the actual process of intermittent fasting, people haven't been doing it for too long. A lot of people have been doing it for a long time, but not to the degree that it's been used as a fat loss tool specifically. So the long-term benefits haven't fully been realized at the moment, so that is just there to be taken into account. So when we say, is intermittent fasting safe, it's not 100% verified that it is safe, so it's just worth bearing that into account, that nothing truly replaces a healthy, balanced diet. There is nothing to say or suggest that intermittent fasting has actually been proven to be more effective than a healthy, balanced nutrition plan that you have in place over a long period of time. So intermittent fasting, if you already eat very, very healthily and you have all your macros and your micronutrients in place and you're eating at regular intervals in a healthy way, there's nothing to suggest that intermittent fasting is going to somehow amplify your progress beyond that, because it's not proven to be more effective than an already healthy, balanced lifestyle. It might just be more effective for you at finding a way to live healthily in a way that's convenient for your lifestyle. And we always do advocate that you've got to do what works for you in a healthy way, and intermittent fasting could be that very thing. It could be convenient for your lifestyle. So again, we're not saying that it's more effective than a healthy, balanced nutritional plan that you have in place already, because it isn't. But if it works for you, then that can only be a good thing, as long as you're doing it in a safe and a non-extreme way, so not taking it too far. You've still got to make sure that your body is getting the essential proteins, carbohydrates, healthy fats, and all of the other vitamins and nutrients that come with it, which we cover in a separate topic on our learning area about macro and micronutrients, which are all the various different elements that come together that your body demands to help you get the most out of your energy, if you're training, how to fuel your muscles in the right way, and just the nuts and bolts of what macros and micronutrients are. If you've not heard or if you're not familiar with that terminology, then it's worth jumping on the learning area just to see what that is all about as well, so that when you are doing your intermittent fasting, you're making sure that you're eating the right things through your intermittent fasting as well. So we hope you found this topic useful, and if you are considering intermittent fasting, let us know, or if you have tried it and you find it effective, then also feedback to us and your thoughts on intermittent fasting, and how you found it, if you found there's been any negative effects to it, or if you found it particularly life-changing, and why intermittent fasting works for you or why it hasn't worked for you, because we'd love to hear your feedback, because it is still a relatively new subject, so we don't want to throw any claims out there that would suggest it is particularly one thing or the other, because at the moment there are too many uncertainties with it. So that's intermittent fasting in a nutshell. We've got plenty more content coming your way, so don't forget to like, follow, share and subscribe, because we've got workouts, exercises and just these occasional little educational snippets as well. So stay in touch and we'll be back soon. Thank you.